Well, joining us with his thoughts on the markets, Craig Hodges, CEO and Portfolio Manager at Hodges Capital Management. Good morning, Craig.
Good morning.
Well, stock's getting a big lift from President Trump's tax plan. How do you break it down? What do you think of it?
I think it's unbelievable positive for all stocks. Anytime you take rates down from the upper 30s to a lot of companies pay 40%, and you talk about taking that to 20 to even 15. The amount of money that companies will make will be pretty earth-shattering, and the interesting part will be what companies do with that money. A lot of large companies the last several years have used their excess cash to really not invest in plant or equipment. They've basically been buying back their own stock. So with a lot more profits, I think you'll see further buyouts, large companies acquiring smaller companies, and it'll be very, very bullish for the entire market, I believe, but especially small cap stocks.
Which companies and which sectors, in addition to the small caps, are going to do best under this plan?
Oh, I think across the board, smaller companies, because of their simplified structure. And if you look at not just the tax breaks, but the decrease in regulations, that's probably as big as anything. If you have much less, regulations out there, a lot of the reason there hasn't been a lot of investment in companies and in industry is that it's hard to do business because of all the regulations. So if you have lower taxes, a lot less regulation, you have money coming over from overseas, and a much more bullish attitude, I think all stocks should do a lot better. And that's really what the market has been telling you since the election. And then you even look at yesterday's action. The markets were slightly down, but the strongest part of the market was the small caps. Russell 2000 was up pretty significantly yesterday, and I think that's directly related to the tax breaks coming for all companies.
So the rollback of regulations certainly has been helping the financials overall, but do you expect this trend in the small caps in particular to continue?
I do, and I mentioned earlier about there just hasn't been a lot of investment. If you're in a very slow growth environment, like a lot of these big companies are, and we've been in for a decade or more, you've got to grow. To keep your job, you've got to grow. And so what a company's going to need to do, they're going to need to go out and buy new businesses. They haven't been investing in plant or equipment or anything like that. So what will they naturally do? Go buy companies. And so I think you'll see a lot of M&A over the next couple of years. I think that'll and naturally small and mid cap stocks will be the beneficiary of these companies' lack of investment. So at Hodges Capital, we kind of specialize in the small and mid-cap world. So we think the outlook for that group is as good as it's ever been.
And repatriation of billions of dollars as well. Craig Hodges, CEO and Portfolio Manager at Hodges Capital Management, thank you for joining us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me on.